In my last video, I said that I'm going to try to meet my expectations of being more active on YouTube and just in general everywhere else where I normally post content. And so far, I have been very happy with it. I started to work towards opening my small business that's art related. I have been drawing some Warhammer piece recently. I might actually include the video in here, but who knows, or maybe just the end results, whatever. But anyway, the last couple of weeks, the start of the new year, has been interesting. And yeah, interesting is the good word for it. Basically, what happened is that at first, around New Year's Eve, my grandmother passed away. So I had to go to the funeral, to the family reunion, let's say, because I haven't seen them for quite some time. And that was a harsh reality check for me because I've noticed and felt the vibes in the environment in the room, and they weren't very friendly. Let's put it that way. It's not really anything super important like that reality check, I mean, because I have been quite aware of that situation for a very long time now. But still, it was, yeah, but still, that experience added to everything that January has been all about. The next thing that happened was probably the most unexpected thing ever, at least at the time, because now that I think about it, there was nothing unexpected about it at all. But in the moment, it was awful. It was like the worst type of betrayal ever. Or maybe not worst ever, but like one of the, it's up there, you know what I mean? It's up there for sure. So what happened is that a friend of mine, an online friend of mine, that I had known for around 2 years or a little bit more, and have been really open with the past 6 months or 10 months or so, like around a year, out of the blue. And it's so stereotypical too, actually, now that I think about this, like chronically online redditor who falls in love with his friend, right? Oh god, dude, it was such a mess, such a mess. Basically, the whole situation was that a few months ago, the friend confessed to me, and I thought I made myself very clear that I'm not very interested, and as much as I agreed to like potential of the guy like asking me out for a first date in like unknown amount of time, magical, timeline, at least 2 years plus, but it most likely would have been like 3 or 4. So it's really like, what the hell is this kind of a promise, right? Like, you just said, would you go out on a first date with me? Yeah, and that was pretty much it, like, sure, we can go out because like I would like to meet you anyway one day, so yeah, why not, right? And then that, if I had known, you know what? No, I was about to say that if I had known, I would have not said that, but I would actually. Yeah, I would. And do you know why? Because things like that actually check person. Like, that's a test that is being thrown their way, right? And if they don't pass it, well, what can I say? It's like the outcome at the end of the day, as much as it felt, I felt horrible for like 2 or 3 first days past that event. Then, now that I think about it, it is for the better because I actually knew who am I dealing with, what kind of motives were there. And like, I don't care because like some of my friends were like, oh, maybe, you know, it's this or that. Like, I don't care. I'm so done like justifying people's behavior, you know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, I'm a person who gives a lot of benefits of a doubt, and 100% of the time that I was doing this never benefited me in a way, in any way. And I'm not saying like financial benefit, of course, but I mean like, energy transaction type of benefit. So it's like, oh, I give you this, like, I see what you mean. Like you were raised in this messed up environment, so you might have these kinds of decisions and thoughts, whatever. Like, I can see why would that be a problem, blah blah blah, you know. And then in return, I'm getting like, would you want to indulge in the pleasures of the body? Like, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously it's an exaggeration because that was a whole thing that was happening, oh my god, over the course of like 4 or 5 months or whatever. So it is exaggerated, yes, but essentially it all boils down to it. And I realized January has been a curse and a blessing to me. A curse because of all the things that had to happen, but a blessing because of the like experience and knowledge and insight I got out of everything that has happened. I realized that I have issues with being anxiously attached to people, and I'm scared of like losing them. And because I'm scared of losing them, then I'm overthinking, shutting down my intuition at times, and my intuition is like telling me this is not really good for you, or this is you know this is definitely not it. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And my intuition is like, you should maybe, like clarify something in here. But then my overthinking kicks in, and my overthinking goes like, I think you are delusional. I think this person actually didn't mean that, and you just like started this narration in your insane brain. Spoiler alert, literally 100% of the time my intuition is right. And I'm not saying it to toot my own horn, but I'm saying it that intuition is an incredible tool, especially for women. I've noticed, like, I don't know how that works for men. Maybe I'll also have your magical intuition, but most of the time I've noticed that this is a girl thing. And like, please, this is a gift that we have. Like, actually listen to it, use it, because it will be so right. I promise you. That was like my biggest lesson, most likely. Listen to your intuition and don't feel bad for what it says, because when you actually end up following it, you will feel so relieved and at peace like never before. And that's exactly what I did. And I had to, because of that whole thing, I also had to, how to say, set priorities in some of my other relations. And that at the time I was really stressed about it. I was like, do I have the rights to do it? Am I in the right? Am I in the right? Am I, correct about this? There are different types, different perspectives, and if someone like is given a scenario and provides an answer A, and another person provides an answer B, it doesn't mean that either of the answers are wrong or right. It depends on you. It is very much objective. So if like a certain situation is affecting you negatively, but the other person is unaffected by it, it doesn't mean that you are wrong to be to be affected. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it is just you and how you react to certain things. And at the end of the day, there is no other you in the world, right? There is no exact copy to you. So, because everyone is here for the first time, having like living their own lives, you need to be a little bit selfish at the end of the day. And sometimes it can mean going for some difficult decisions, like maybe, you know, clarifying some things with people or cutting them off or moving on to, you know, moving from a relationship. Yeah, like there are different things. Some of them are difficult, most of them are difficult. But if you made a decision and afterwards you feel like you have achieved a peace of mind, or a weight has been lifted from your shoulders, then you did the right thing. Absolutely. And that's how I felt in January. And even though, as I said, I was grieving the whole situation because I was like, oh my God, I had a best friend and now what, right? Girl, who are you lying to? Why are you lying to yourself, especially, right? Like, if that was truly my best friend, this situation would have not taken place. And that was the very difficult pill to swallow. But eventually I arrived at this conclusion. And now I'm like, yeah, it's good that it happened, you know? And also I was able to like get some insight on others in my my God, in my group. And I was like, that I'm glad this happened. You know? Like actually there is so much knowledge, profound insights to get from here, that I am actually glad this whole shitstorm happened, honestly. So yeah, trust your gut, guys. Like that's what I'm trying to tell you here. I had to reach out to two different figures of authority, two more experienced people of two different genders, because I was like, am I really? Like, is it really? Yes. Yes. I'm telling you, yes. It is really. Whatever's bothering you and you know how to put an end to it, put an end to it. Yes, you have the right to. I assure you. Because that's what the two a lot more experienced, much older people told me, people that I look up to, and that's literally all there is to it, you know? Don't waste your energy where it's really not worth it. Be protective of your energy. You are going to be grateful for that later on in your life, or at any point in your life, really. I'm only so disappointed that it took me so long to realize, but then again, when I spoke to the other person, like a woman in my life that I really, really trust, and I'm like, we are misaligned with some opinions, but most of our values we share. And when I consulted things with her and she like backed me up on my observations and just feelings, then I was like, wow, it's really that simple, and I'm here wondering if that's okay to do, etc., etc. And she literally said, like, I wish I had this knowledge when I was your age. And I'm like, excuse me, I thought I'm a slow learner. You know what I mean? But yeah, no matter when you are in life, what age you are, if you feel like something's draining, bugging you, figuratively prevents you from sleeping well at night, then do something to change it. That's it.